Um,
Hi, everyone. And hi, Mark.
Hello.
Hi. So, welcome to this client celebration call. It's like the last thing with you because you're not a client anymore. You
Yeah,
will join us full time as a practitioner.
yeah, it's a very exciting change of events for me.
Yes. So, what we are going to do, we're going to use this call to kind of close that chapter and for you to share your story and to share a bit about your experience with us here at Living with the Spirit, how that has changed your life and what you're going to do forward, and if you have any recommendations or advice for people looking to you and see the transformation that you've done, because it's so apparent, everything. So yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
So where did it all begin?
In this lifetime?
You got me.
Well, I mean, I came to you in a deep emotional state of stress, and a big shift in my life had just occurred because I just started my second divorce, and I had spent some time in rehab prior with struggles with alcohol and drugs and addiction, and so I had separated from my partner at the time, and I was living in a sober house, which is kind of like a place that's not quite rehab but still structured in such a way for addicts to have a home base.
Yeah.
And I reached out to you basically just you know with nowhere else to go. I had tried so many things and done so many hours of therapy and traditional methods of trying to get to the root of my problems that I came to you guys really in a desperate situation.
Mm. And the interesting thing with your situation is that you were high functioning. I mean, you had I mean, you were partner in a business, like in high level education business, vice president. Like you were not living on the streets. Being like it's not that kind of addiction
Right.
situation. You were highly functioning with a high level job, like a yeah.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people who are, facing this similar problem are able to be high functioning, but have a massive amount of, issues, underlying issues that they're struggling with. And yeah, so on one hand, it's like my life was totally being destroyed, but on the other hand, was able to hold things together. But as I've learned through this whole process, is that this is the nervous system's ability to just blue zone out and focus on doing work, and then
Surviving.
disassociating from the body completely.
Yeah. 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 So you started when we were still living in the city, in the house in Chiang Mai, and you started coming to us for sessions, and you did that for quite some time. And then when we started to communicate that we were moving to the farm, you instantly said, "I'm going with you."
Yeah, yeah.
You just told me, "I'm coming." What date are we leaving? I mean, you had a very strong intention of becoming, one with what we do. You were very committed to the process. So what did you feel about the process? What was it that you felt that you like? I want more of this. I really want to immerse myself in these teachings. What was that about?
Well, I don't think I had ever really experienced the deep somatic work. And I experienced just a little taste of how transformative it is with those early sessions that you did with me, Sarah. We did breath work right off the bat, and we did TRE pretty soon after that. And then Simba was working with me through different, like the first time that I laid my body across one of those rollers, I just started sobbing, and I didn't know why. And then I felt shame for why I was sobbing, and then Simba just embraced me and told me that it's okay,
Mm.
that this is just tension in the body. And so, like both you and Simba explained everything to me in such a intellectual capacity that my blue zone brain was working in, while also still working on my body somatically. And I just had never experienced those kind of results from any other method before. And so I said, this is it. This is the way. This is how I'm going to recover. This is how I'm going to get through this.
Yeah. Yeah, and you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 years ago, so it's October 4. So you were like, when are we leaving? When are we leaving? Because we were doing all the construction here, and the moving in date wasn't set, and I said September, and then I had to say October, and I saw how devastated you got. Like, no. But then October 1st, I said, okay, we're going October 1st. Good, I come October 2nd. It's like, and I was like, we're not open, it might not be, like everything is not going to be ready. You're like, I don't care, give me a bed and a mosquito net and I'm coming. I'm doing this. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. And I did. I packed up my all of my belongings and they fit into my truck and my little truck.
Yeah.
And I showed up like, hello, I'm here.
Yeah. So you were the first client that moved in, and you stayed in the green room, that where everyone else is staying, and you started to really do the deep work, because there is a difference between coming for one-on-one sessions, and then fully immersing in the lifestyle that me and Simba have, and really becoming one with that. So
Yeah.
how was that experience?
Well, on one hand, it was a little bit shocking to the nervous system because I wasn't, prepared for all of the things that we would do. And so immediately, well, maybe not immediately, but at least a week after I arrived, we went on a juice fast. And I had done, like 24 hours or maybe 2 days at the most, but I hadn't done this long deep dive juice fast. And so I was like, all right, here we are. We're doing it. I've made this choice. Here I am. And yeah, I mean, of course, there was some fears and resistances that came up from that, but I actually ended up discovering that this new sense of power that I didn't know that my body had during that fast, because that fast actually went well for me. And I was able to do 5 days, and then I was able to do 10 days, and then I was able to do 15 days. And I think I stopped around 19 days or something. I don't remember exactly, but wow. I mean, from never doing that to then doing 19 days, I just started to realize that my body can do much more than what I give it credit for,
Yeah.
what my mind thinks it could do.
Yeah. First of all, I must say I'm impressed that you remember all of this. I don't remember that we went on a juice fast. There's actually YouTube videos
Yeah,
about us, you and me, sharing this journey. Like when we were starting to set up our YouTube channel and everything. So if you're curious, you can go back and look at me and Mark sharing.
yeah, you'll see a big difference because I was terrified to go on camera at that time,
Oh,
and I had shaved my mustache, and so I was like, no, 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 you know, I was going through it all.
yeah. I mean, that's what you've been doing. You've been going through it all.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so yeah, you have to remind me of what happened here. But I mean, a year ago, more than a year ago, you decided to do the TRE training. So slowly, so what happened was that you slowly started to become one with what we do here. And then at some point, I know I remember when we were going to buy a new refrigerator, you and me, and you informed me that you were going to build a house on the farm. And I was like, really? Because I was starting to think like, he's been here for a while now. I wonder what his plan is. He's going to stay here. Is he going to, move somewhere else? He's going to, because things don't, you took it month by month, in the beginning, and then you share that you want to build a house, and then you did that, and now, I mean, you decided to become a permanent resident
right.
at the farm, and you started to really, um, explore the practitioner side of things. You became a sound healer. You became TRE practitioner certified, and now you're doing the EFT, and I mean just all of these things. So, and that's where we started to go into the more official mentorship programs when you
Right.
because you and I had been working together a lot. So
Right.
during this time, we could say that your primary person that you've been working with is me.
Right.
Yeah. So we've had like different kinds of mentorships programs during this time. So what would you like to share about those mentorship programs?
Well, we actually kind of like iterated through a few different areas in the mentorship program. I remember the first time that we did the Deepak Chopra activity to investigate what my purpose statement is. And the first time that we did it, I was still very much in the mind of my career.
Yeah.
And so I ended up writing a personal or a purpose statement that was more aligned to like my work
Yeah.
and career. And I mean, I remember it was a few months later that we decided to do it again, and it was all aligned to the healing arts. It was all
Yeah.
aligned to what we do. And so between those two periods is when I kind of activated that desire, that interest to become a practitioner. Uh, and I've slowly been shedding away that education career.
Mm.
Um, but the mentorship process for me has allowed me to, really dive deeper into what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Where is my sense of purpose? And how can I just live my absolute wildest dreams of my truth?
Yeah.
And nobody have really ever asked me that before. And maybe when I was a kid, the people always ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you could say, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be the president, or whatever. But it's kind of just a child's play. But I really asked myself that question from that perspective. What do I really want to do? And just because I've had this long career doesn't mean that that's what I want to do. And so I made space, and you helped guide me to build that space where I could look at a new option and a new possibility in my life.
So, I mean, this question is probably obvious, but how do you feel like this has changed your life situation, doing this work, doing the inner work, and doing this process with us?
I mean, for me, I just realized that and this is my opinion, it's the only real work that there is to be done on this planet. Everything else is just distractions. When it comes to the normal jobs, working at a bank or something, the real work is inside your heart, and getting to the core of who you are, finding your purpose, living your truth, shedding away old beliefs, realizing that you're powerful and strong, and you can be healthy and vital, and you can love yourself. This is the most beautiful thing that there is for a human life.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And from that space, you can do anything. I mean, we don't tell you that you have to become a practitioner and help to keep serving the world or whatever. I mean, if you want to work at a bank, if that's what your dream, then you
Yeah.
go work at a bank. I mean, living with the spirit is about you finding the connection from yourself to your spirit, to your intuition or universe or your truth or your whatever it is, that how you want to frame it. But so that's what we do. We help people to find that space inside where everything you shared is available, and making choices from there. And I mean, I can just be grateful that you chose to stay with us and be part of what we're doing. And since October 1st, you have officially left that job.
Right.
And that has been an interesting journey too, and now
Yes.
you're going to join us full time. And everyone who knows us and work with us and been following us, they know that you are a big part of what we do. But it's been a transition, and now it's more official.
Right.
So that's why we choose to do this interview or this testimonial, because now, yeah, we're leaving that part. It's also like a statement for us also, that you are moving into something new, and
Right.
like sharing your experiences and your journey, uh, with doing that.
Yeah, it's like I've come full circle.
Exactly. Yes, you've come full circle, 100%.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask you a little bit about the process that we have here and how you have experienced it. So the process that we have is that we always work with the nervous system first. And that's like everything that we do here is designed to ground the nervous system, to regulate it, to learn about it,
Yeah.
to to know yourself through the nervous system, and to work through the nervous system. So how is that affected, or what has been your experience with learning about this, because you didn't know that when you first came? And
No, I mean, learning about the nervous system was really important for me to understand my own biology. And before this, I hadn't really studied anatomy that much, and unfortunately, the American education system doesn't give us the best source of knowledge about our own bodies. So I just was pretty clueless, about the nervous system completely. So learning about the nervous system gave me the understanding of what happens in my body. Why do I get tense? Why do I get tired? Why do I get frustrated? And if I am frustrated, how can I return back to a space of safety and calmness?
mm,
And realizing that the nervous system also has this autonomic responses, and that those are things that we typically think of not having control over. We do have control over what happens after. So if something comes up in your automatic nervous system, you have some choices about what you can do after that. And that I found to be extremely powerful, because um, I used to kind of always feel scared whenever anger came up in my body, and I would hide it, or I would be ashamed of it. And so now I have tools that can help me to de-escalate, or to release, or to not feel afraid of those feelings.
mm. Yeah, I mean, the nervous system is the key to it all. I mean, it holds every experience that we haven't processed, and it's running our lives basically. And a lot of people, and myself included, were I had the feeling that I was controlled by my circumstances, and not the other way around. And that was one of the biggest things for me when I learned about it, was that it's like taking the power back. And
Yeah.
also, it's a way to view and navigate the world that just makes everything just so much easier. And the fact that, okay, if I do the inner work, then I can change all of that. I can change how I operate. I can change how I react. I can change everything. I can change, from the core. Or I mean, I change what I want to change.
Right.
It's not that everything will change, but I mean, you can change whatever you want. And yeah, the nervous system is also one of the big. So what we do here is that we activate all the body's self-healing mechanisms, and we, through the nervous systems and other number of other tools and modalities, we activate the physical detoxification, because we believe, as you mentioned before, we believe that you go through the body like 100% somatic. But I mean, it's like top down or bottom up. Like top down, you go from the mind and try to tell the body what to do. Don't react like this, it's not
Yeah.
good. But I mean, it's not like talk therapy is bad, but it's like everything is stored in the body. So, and the whole world is kind of waking up to the fact that it's through the somatic that
Yeah.
the results are happening. But what we do is go through the body to activate all the self healing mechanisms, so we can do like a physical detoxification. How have you experienced? What has that been for you, going through that process?
Yeah, I mean, the physical detox, especially like during the fasting, I experienced nausea and, you know, like I don't know, I had like skin rashes and runny noses and all kinds of stuff. Um, I've had a long term tightness in my feet and my hips, my shoulders, and I'm still working on those. But I have had a massive ability to be more flexible in my body that I have never experienced before. So I can articulate my shoulders more, my hips more. My jaw, has kind of like dropped a little bit. It used to be really tight and always clenching down.
Mm.
So these physical reactions that happen in the body when the nervous system is calming down is that the rest of the body starts to relax. So my shoulders come down, my jaw is relaxed. I just feel a little bit looser and I can flow a little bit more inside of my own body.
Mm. And through the physical detoxification, we also get access to everything that is stored inside the body. So all of that starts to come to the surface. So with the physical detoxification, we start moving the stagnant chi. We move the lymphatic system. We go into the fascia. We activate the vagus nerve. We work with the nervous system. We do the physical detox that we talk about, the juicing and the fasting or raw food, like everyone gets their individual protocol,
Yeah.
and all to activate these self-healing mechanisms and to bring everything that is unresolved to the surface, so we move into the emotional detoxification. How how I'm laughing a bit because it's been a ride for you, uh, like it is for all of us. But the emotional detox and the like the somat that's what the somatic work is, to reach all of that.
Yeah, well, for the emotional detoxification has been the deepest aspects. And as someone who has suffered a lot of trauma and misery in my life, I took all of that and I just shove it down.
Yeah.
And all of that just gets stored in my body, and it gets stored in the cells of my body, which makes me, tight and keeps me from sleeping well, and it has a variety of effects. But it is a little scary to work through these emotions. And one thing that always made me feel safe about being able to work through those emotions is the support that you offer. And so, no matter what I was dealing with, no matter how scary or how ugly or how difficult it was, you were always there to help me through that. And using a variety of techniques and somatic practices, we went through all of it. We went through the ups and downs, the hills and valleys, and everything in between.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have had a very close relationship during this time. I mean, there was multiple times when in the container of the mentorship, you shared things that you said you've never shared with anyone,
Yeah,
and you said that you tried to share this with people, but it was so ugly that they couldn't take it, like they couldn't handle whatever was shared. So
right.
you always felt very alone and like very shameful of that, because that means that I'm bad if no one else can, help me hold this as I go through it. That means like so it's we're touching on the belief systems also.
Yeah, yeah. Powerful belief shifts
Yeah.
are a part of this emotional work.
Because that's what happens. We activate all the physical mechanisms, the detoxification mechanisms, like on all levels. So all the undealt with emotions, traumas, events, memories, everything that is that was too difficult for us to process when it happened, basically, or a large amount of stress, like long-term stress or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter because the body just stores it. And then being able to share that, and because what we also practice is that we have to forgive, we have to um, go without guilt and go without shame, and reach the like the heart, and have the body and the person to trust itself again. But when we activate the emotional detoxification, then the spiritual detoxification starts, because we reach like a glass ceiling of our belief systems that kind of keeps us, no, but I can't do that because I did this, and that
Yep.
means I'm not worth it, or I'm bad, or things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I carried around for a very long time this frail, damaged identity
Mm.
that was a limiting belief that kept me from being able to move forward. So I continued to make choices in my life and in my career that would put me in safety and in um, a place where I wouldn't have to do difficult things.
Mm. Yeah.
But then I learn more about myself and about life when I do difficult things.
Mm. Yeah. So living here at the farm with us, that means that you also get seen. That's one of the perks of staying here with us at the farm, is that it's very easy for us, and especially for me, to see exactly what's really going on,
Yeah.
because we're around each other all the time. And same for the retreat visitors. How has that been?
Well, I mean, I think that, like, anybody can put on a mask for a little while,
Yeah.
but eventually that the mask comes crumbling down. And I think I've had a few here and there.
Yeah.
And the being seen is touching to your soul when you allow it to be.
Yeah.
But it can be scary and frightening at first, because if you don't even know who you are, then what do other people see? So, as I started to become more in touch with who I really am, the less I was afraid of other people seeing me.
Mm.
And now I have released so much shame and so much fear around it that I'm wide open.
Yeah. I mean, you very early on in the process, you told me, like, Sarah, I really want you to. I mean, you used the word "call me out," but what that means is, um, share what you see.
Yeah,
And when I've been doing that, you've been very, very, very open, and your devotion to the practice has been very clear. I mean, you built a house here, so you were determined to stay, but. Just in that process of being seen, and being vulnerable, and showing up for that, and meeting that when it arrives, I feel like that's also one of the reasons why you did. I mean, why? Because it's not like anyone can just walk in here and build a house, because if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I mean, you have to be 100% aligned with what we do here, and really, like, enjoy the process, and have and share our values and things like that. And the work that you've been doing with yourself is really the devotion that shows us that you are on this path, and wanting to heal fully, and share to others. And that's why it's like, Simba and I, we were two people on this living with the spirit journey, and now we're three. So that I think, for me, that was one of the biggest reasons why I felt like this was aligned, was your ability to uh, to open up for that, and wanting to grow, like, really, I want to grow. And that's usually the people that come to us also, that are like, I really want this. I'm done with
right,
whatever I'm doing, and this needs to change. And understanding that the deep inner work is the way to do that. So yeah, it's been fantastic to watch. And the fifth part of our process is the guidance and the profound space holding that we offer. You already touched a little bit about that, but
well,
yeah.
the farm itself is just such a serene place. And I mean, even when customers come here and they just spend a lunch here, it's like they don't want to leave. They hang around a little bit, and, like, oh, and they don't want to leave, because it's so inviting. And what that does to your nervous system is it makes you feel like home. and home is such a beautiful place to be. And home is more of a feeling than an actual building or an actual place. And the farm just really has that feeling.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's an aspect of it where just the nature and just the space is able to hold.
Mm,
But then, you know, you and Simba bring in your loving compassion and kindness, and you know, the flow of the way things work, and how, you know, the schedule of the day is just so situated to be in harmony with nature and to be in harmony with your nervous system,
mm.
that it kind of feels like, why have I ever lived any other way?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that too. I mean, I'm just amazed how I managed to live so many years in such a stressful and fearful state. Actually, I didn't understand that until I came here and did the work. That wow, I've been afraid for so long. I remember an office that I used to work with and at and. When I arrived there, I had this feeling inside, and a couple of years ago, I realized, oh, it was fear. Well, it wasn't even fear; it was terror. I was so afraid working
Yeah,
there, and I didn't understand. I just thought that I was stressed.
yeah.
So
Most
yeah,
people live like that.
yes, a lot of people live like that. So yeah, the aspect of the home is very important to us because it's actually our home, and I
Right.
think that brings in an aspect also of how we work, that people are invited into a home. It's not just a center or
Yeah.
and I mean you also live here, and so there's a couple of people who are always here.
Right.
Mm.
And so what people experience when they come here is that they see that this is actually how we live. This
Mm.
isn't just a show we put on when people arrive. This is our actual daily practice, and we just invite others to come and experience it.
Yeah. So what would you, if to the people who listen to this or watching this, what would you, if there's someone like checking this out, like what's going on here, who are these people, would it be possible for me to do the same journey, or like dreaming of looking at you, like feel like I'm in the same situation and see the transformation that you've done? Like what advice do you have for these people?
Yeah, I would say that, you know, similar to the advice that I needed to help me on my journey is realizing that anything is possible, and the call that you hear coming from your heart is telling you that there must be another way.
Yeah.
There has to be another way. My heart has been saying that since I was a child, and I went all around the world and trying to find it, and I didn't find it in relationships, and I didn't find it in drugs, and I didn't find it in work, and I didn't find it in toys and music and a million other ways that I tried to find it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I did find it, and I realized that it was here all along. It was already here inside of me, but I had just covered it up with fears, with anxieties, with mania, with false beliefs, with all this stuff that I don't need anymore.
Mm.
And every single person has that ability. Every single person has that calling in their heart to find home, to find peace, to find serenity.
Mm.
And it's available to every single person who's willing to do this work.
Yeah. Truth.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you so. Yeah, you got a little
start
bit.
crying a little bit.
No, but really, really see, because that was the final step to leave your job and to follow your dream, and we're here now.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a big, big, big step for me to let go of that last grip.
Kicking and screaming.
Yeah. A little bit.
No, but the belief systems gets tried. It gets challenged when you do when you. I mean, that's how. it's a false sense of safety, having that job and money and everything. It's a real thing. It's one of the main things that keep people trapped in things that they really don't want to do. So watching you taking these steps is amazing, and that's such a big part of what we do, the academy part. So we have like one part where you heal yourself, and then you have one part where you can build yourself as a practitioner or a healer or teacher or coach or whatever you want to call it, and help other people. But so that's like two different ways. But we really, our purpose is to help conscious leaders find a new way of living, a new way of being, and finding a way to freedom and purpose, and to find that alignment inside, this anchoring into the self, to live your truth, whatever it is. And helping others is, I mean, there's many people who, when they overcome whatever they overcome, that they want to share and help other people. So it's like a full circle, and I love that, and that's why I bring you on to share this, because you're going full circle. So
Yeah.
now you will be, one of us, and helping other people grow and bringing them through that same journey. And I always tell people who are going through something really dark and heavy, or like, when you come out on the other side, you will have so much to share with other people. And that's what I feel like you're doing, because you're turning into this phenomenal practitioner. Like the way that you can hold space for people, and I see how they open up when they work with you. I mean, it's just amazing. It's so powerful. And having like two healthy masculine energies holding the space here at the farm, I mean, it's incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
no wonder people are having the results. So I'm just super happy that you come and join our purpose, so we can help more people,
Yeah.
and really make a difference in the world. So
Yeah.
thank
I think in my life, I've never experienced something that felt so aligned and so intentional and purposeful.
you. Okay, so with that said, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah.
And yeah, very powerful. If you're watching this on YouTube or anyone else, you can go read more about us at livingwiththespirit.com. If you already have been searching around and you found us on the web page, and you're thinking of, is this something that is for me? If you're not sure, always reach out, and we set up any kind of consultation, or we chat about it, because doing this work is a very, it's a big commitment, and finding the right people to do it with is essential. For me, I always say, you need to go with someone that makes you feel safe, and the second one who has done whatever it is that you want to accomplish, and then you choose anyone. And if that's us, we're super happy and honored. And yeah, reach out and see if it's a good fit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ciao.